Onye and Chineye were identical in appearance, but starkly different in personality. Born minutes apart, they grew up in the beautiful city of Enugu, where their lives were filled with joys and struggles of a middle-class family. Their parents, Mr. and Mrs. Okafor, were hardworking individuals who valued education and discipline, instilling these principles into their daughters. They were known in the community as a peace-loving family and one that was very close-knit. Onye embraced this teaching wholeheartedly. She was her parents' favorite, not because they openly preferred her, but because of her dedication and sense of responsibility. She helped with chores, ran errands, and took care of things without being asked. Chineye, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. She refused to lift a finger, always finding an excuse to avoid any form of work. "I can't risk injuring my skin," she would say. A model must always be flawless. Onye was fascinated by medicine, spending countless hours poring over biology books, watching documentaries, and volunteering at small clinics whenever she had the chance. Her dream was clear. She wanted to be a doctor, to save lives, to make a difference. Every evening after school, while other children played, she locked herself in her room, studying late into the night, under the dim light of a rechargeable lamp. Chineye, on the other hand, lived in the moment. She was effortlessly beautiful, and she knew it. Unlike Onye, who was reserved and focused, Chineye loved attention. She dreamed of becoming a model, not out of passion, but for the fame, luxury, and admiration that came with it. She was always out with friends, chasing gigs, shopping for the latest trends, and attending events. Their parents often scolded her for her reckless spending habits, but Chineye would always dismiss their concerns with a wave of her manicured hand. Chineye had even gotten admission into a university, but turned it down, refusing to go to school. While Onye spent her days either in the library or buried in her hostel bed reading, Chineye was always hopping from one wealthy man to another, using her beauty to her advantage. Yet, despite her efforts, the men never stayed. They always left her for someone else, someone better. Onye, on the other hand, loved helping people and never expected anything in return. She was selfless, offering assistance to those in need without looking for repayment. Onye's journey was far from easy. Her days were grueling. School, studying, chores, and then more studying. She barely had time to rest, but she pushed herself relentlessly. She often stayed up past midnight, memorizing medical terminologies, solving complex equations, and preparing for her final exam. Some nights, her mother would find her asleep at her desk, her head resting on an open textbook. "Oye, my child, you need to rest," she would say, gently shaking her awake. "Just a little more, Mama," Onye would mumble, rubbing her tired eyes. "I need to be prepared." Meanwhile, Chineye was the complete opposite. While Onye buried herself in books, Chineye spent her time attending fashion shows and posing for photo shoots. She had money to book a few gigs, but they barely paid. Yet, she spent recklessly on designer clothes, extravagant outings, and expensive perfumes. Their father often reprimanded her. "Chineye, you can't keep wasting money like this. Learn something useful. Life is unpredictable." But Chineye only laughed. "Papa, stop worrying. Everything will work out." Despite their difference, Onye never stopped trying to guide her sister. She suggested one evening, "You don't have to study medicine, but at least learn how to manage money." Chineye rolled her eyes. "Books are not my thing, Onye. I have a photo shoot tomorrow. That's where my future is." Onye shook her head, but she had to let it go. She was so caught up in her illusion to see reality. One fateful evening, as Onye was walking home from the market, she heard a loud crash. A black sedan had swerved off the road and slammed into a street pole. People gathered around, murmuring and pointing, but no one stepped forward to help. Without hesitation, Onye rushed towards the wreckage. A man was slumped over the steering wheel, blood trickling from a wound on his forehead. "Sir, can you hear me?" she asked urgently. The man groaned, struggling to lift his head. "My leg, I think it's broken. Don't move too much. Help is coming." Onye reassured him, using her scarf to apply pressure to the wound on his head. Minutes later, the ambulance arrived. Onye stayed by his side until the paramedics took over. Before they closed the ambulance door, the man looked at her and whispered, "Thank you." She simply nodded and walked away, never expecting to see him again. Days later, Peter recovered and was eager to thank the woman who had saved his life. With the help of the hospital staff, he tracked down her address and arrived at the Okafor's residence. But when he knocked on the door, it was Chineye who answered. Peter smiled. "Onye, right?" Chineye hesitated for a second. Then her eyes lit up with opportunity. The man standing before her was well-dressed, handsome, and clearly well-off. In that moment, she decided to take her sister's place. "Yes, that's me," she said smoothly. He introduced himself as the man whose life she had saved. Pretending, she replied, "Oh yes, how are you?" He responded, "Fine. I'd love to take you somewhere special to appreciate what you did for me. Only God knows what would have happened if you hadn't saved my life." Chineye, still pretending to be Onye, smiled. "We gave God all the glory." While admiring the young man, she agreed to go out with him. She also asked him not to visit the house again, as he would get her in trouble, suggesting he should call her instead. Not wanting to cause her any trouble, he agreed and bade her goodbye. For weeks, Chineye led Peter on, pretending to be Onye, enjoyed expensive dinners, lavish gifts, and his attention, but she made sure he never visited their home again, ensuring no one would uncover her lie. Everything unraveled when Onye ran into Peter in town. Peter greeted her warmly, but she frowned in confusion. "I'm sorry, but I don't think we've met before." Realization dawned on Onye after much conversation. Her sister had deceived him. That evening, she confronted Chineye. "You lied to him pretending to be me." Chineye smirked. "Relax, Onye, it's not a big deal. He's cute and I had fun. Besides, he liked me better." Onye was speechless. "You don't even care how wrong this is." "Well, why would I anyways? He proposed to me, but I discovered he was a mere driver and called off the engagement. You can have him, as I am no longer interested." Onye was very surprised as to how cold-hearted her sister was, and prayed she won't regret the direction she was headed, with the way she was going about with things. "I hope you don't regret this your lifestyle. Change before it becomes too late," Onye said, and walked away, still upset. Peter, embarrassed and hurt, sought out Onye to apologize. Over time, his admiration for her grew into love. After courting her for a while, he finally proposed. He then revealed his true identity, not as a driver, but as an heir to a successful business empire. After Onye had accepted his proposal, he had to reveal to Onye that he had to lie and disguise himself, that most of the time, anytime he told a young lady he was a driver, they would call off the engagement or turn away, as they were all looking for someone wealthy. But being with her and knowing who she was has truly changed his mindset, but he still decided to give it a try. And knowing the knowledge that he was a driver and she accepted to marry him made him truly believe that she was a rare gem. Meanwhile, Chineye, desperate to marry into wealth, rushed into a union with a wealthy man she barely knew. But her dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Her husband was cruel, controlling, and stingy. She had no money and no happiness. On the other hand, Onye's marriage flourished. Peter supported her dreams, even purchasing a hospital for her to run after she completed her education, allowing her to fulfill her lifelong ambitions of becoming a doctor. In the end, Chineye realized that not all that glitters is gold. By then, it was too late. Heavily pregnant, her husband used it as an opportunity to force her to be a full-time stay-at-home wife. His trophy. The end. The moral of this story is hard work and integrity leads to true success. Wealth without love and character is meaningless. Life has a way of teaching the lessons we refuse to learn. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button as it helps us grow. Leave us a comment what you learned about this story. And you can kindly drop your suggestions. Like and share the story to your loved ones and to those you feel who will learn one or two from this story. I will see you in my next one. Till then, bye. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please click on the subscribe button to support us. Turn on the post notification to get notified when I upload a new story. Like, share, and comment your thoughts. Till then, bye.